This is Radio Taiwan International.
Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Phil Eskowski coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Thursday, February 12th. The United States House of Representatives passes the PROTECT Taiwan Act. President Lai Ching-te warns that Japan, the Philippines, and other Indo-Pacific countries could be China's next targets. And Japan's Foreign Minister Toshimitsu Motegi describes Taiwan as an extremely important partner and precious friend. But first, today's top story. The United States House of Representatives passed the PROTECT Taiwan Act last Monday by a 395-2 vote. Foreign Minister Lin Jialong thanked the U.S. congressmen for their support in a Facebook post, emphasizing how the act demonstrates unwavering bipartisan support for Taiwan's security and democratic resilience. Lin explained that PROTECT stands for Pressure Regulatory Organizations to End Chinese Threats and complimented the lawmakers in January, showcasing the protective nature of the bill. He explained that the act mainly states that if the security, social, or economic systems of the Taiwanese people is threatened by China's actions, the U.S. should, to the greatest extent possible, push for China's exclusion from important international financial and supervisory mechanisms such as the Group of 20, G20, the Bank of International Settlements, the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, and more. The bill is a part of a line of concrete pro-Taiwan actions, including the Taiwan Assurance Implementation Act passed last year. Lin said,
Taiwan and the U.S. use a term called symbiotic partnership, one that we have worked hard to achieve. What I'm promoting is a Taiwan-U.S. fleet. This isn't just a narrow definition of military security, it also includes economic prosperity and development.
The foreign minister thanked the U.S. executive and legislative branches for their support, trust, and attention to Taiwan. He expressed hope that the two will continue to work together to safeguard peace, create prosperity, and build a more resilient partnership. President Lai Ching-te warned that if China attacks Taiwan, Japan, the Philippines, and other countries could be its next target in an AFP news agency interview at the presidential office published this Thursday. He also spoke regarding Taiwan-EU and Taiwan-US relations, defense, cross-trade relations, and the semiconductor industry. If Taiwan were to be annexed, the president said, the next countries under threat would be Japan, the Philippines, and other in the Indo-Pacific region, with repercussions eventually reaching the Americas and Europe. Lai described the recent purge of Chinese military officers as unusual and emphasized that this does not change the necessity for Taiwan to be prepared. He stressed that Taiwan must significantly strengthen its defense capabilities. President Lai told AFP that he is confident the legislature will pass an additional $40 billion special defense budget for key defense procurement, including weapons purchases from the U.S. Although Beijing has warned Washington against arms sales to Taiwan, Lai said the U.S. will support Taiwan and not use it as its bargaining chip in negotiations. Taiwan's foreign ministry has welcomed remarks by Japan's foreign minister Toshimitsu Motegi, who described Taiwan as extremely important partner and precious friend. The ministry says the comments clearly reflect the deep friendship between Taiwan and Japan and Tokyo's long-standing emphasis on bilateral ties. Motegi made the statement at the post-election press conference on Tuesday, following Japan's latest House of Representatives elections. He said Taiwan and Japan share fundamental values and maintain close economic and people-to-people exchanges, pledging that Tokyo will further deepen exchanges and cooperation with Taipei based on its existing position. Foreign Minister Lin Jialong expressed appreciation and warmly welcomed the remarks. Taiwan's foreign ministry noted that both after Sanae Takaichi took office in October 2025 and again following the lower house election, Tokyo moved quickly to publicly signal its willingness to strengthen the cooperation and exchanges with Taiwan. It said this demonstrates both the depth of Taiwan-Japan friendship and the Japanese government's consistent stance in highly valuing relations with Taiwan. Looking ahead, the ministry said Taiwan will continue to build on the solid foundation of existing ties under its all-out diplomacy approach. It aims to deepen substantive cooperation with Japan across multiple sectors and upgrade relations into a comprehensive, mutually beneficial partnership that contributes to regional peace, stability, and prosperity. More than half of Taiwanese people plan to travel abroad this year, outpacing domestic trips, according to a survey released Thursday by the 11111 Job Bank. The poll of 1,071 respondents found 43.1% have definite plans for domestic travel, while 50.9% plan overseas trips. Given the same budget, 80.3% prefer international travel and just 19.6% choose domestic. Domestic trips scored an average of 4.9 out of 10, mainly due to excessively high accommodation costs, price gouging, difficulty finding parking spots and high parking fees, and large weekday holiday price gaps. Travel enthusiast Ms. Chen pointed out that Taiwan has beautiful scenery, but domestic travel is costly, so she has shifted abroad. For example, when comparing Taiwan and Thailand, she noted that snagging budget airline tickets when they release them might actually cost just about the same as round-trip high-speed rail ticket between Taipei and Kaohsiung. She added that Bangkok has a lot of accommodation options, so under the same budget as in Taiwan, you might get a better room type. 1111 Job Bank spokesperson Zheng Zhongwei said prices suppress domestic travel interest, but it has irreplaceable strengths. She said,
Despite this, domestic travel has still had its satisfying aspects, including culture, language, and transportation. Over 50% of people also mentioned that the number of days of leave required is shorter, allowing for spontaneous travel, and the shorter commuting time is also a contributing factor.
Among domestic planners, top destinations are Taichung, Tainan, Yilan, Kaohsiung, and Taidong. For a 2-day trip, 1-night solo trip, the average acceptable budget is around $100, with 58% wanting total costs under $96. As Lunar New Year approaches, temples across Taiwan are going to the dogs, literally, as pet owners flock for animal blessings.
Ahead of the Lunar New Year, pet owners bring their furry friends to Jiayi City God Temple for blessings, with special services just for pets. Temple staff explained that if you light a pet lamp, they'll throw in a free peace lamp or lamp of enlightenment for the owner, lit right there for you. The banner outside reads, "Light a pet safety lamp, get a free owner lamp," causing owners to burst out laughing and calling it a buy one get one free, where they are the bonus item. Some also joke that pets have no health insurance, so one illness could potentially cost tens of thousands, whereas owners should just tough it out. Besides Jiayi, the Shuzhong Land God Temple in Lingya District, Kaohsiung, has also set up a series of pet lighting programs, with some placing it in front of the Tiger God statue and putting a Tiger God coin inside. One owner said, "Our little dog is a French bulldog. We're ensuring her safety this year with a free Tiger Lord peace charm." Temple executive Ge Yongle noted that it has been running for 3 years, drawing thousands from across the province to light these pet safety lamps. Qingyun Temple monitor Li Deyuan said that the animal lamp service is relatively new and trendy. It costs $300 NT, approximately $10, the same as for people. But most importantly, they haven't raised the price. In the new year, some seek wealth or career luck, but many more simply wish for their furry companion to continue to be by their side forever. Eloise Phillips for RTI News.
A delegation of parliamentarians from Central and Northern Europe visited Taiwan's Coast Guard administration on February 5th, aiming to deepen cooperation on maritime security and technology. The Coast Guard administration announced on Wednesday that the group, led by Lithuanian Member of Parliament Žygimantas Pavilionis, deputy chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee, included lawmakers from Lithuania, Estonia, Finland, Germany, Poland, Sweden, and Ukraine, a sign of growing European attention to Indo-Pacific stability. Coast Guard Administration Director General Zhang Zhonglong and the visiting delegation exchanged views on global maritime security trends, law enforcement cooperation, and democratic resilience. The discussion centered around the use of new maritime surveillance technologies, particularly unmanned systems, to enhance law enforcement's efficiency. Zhang emphasized that in today's shifting geopolitical environment, maritime security is key to protecting the democratic supply chain. He reaffirmed Taiwan's frontline role in ensuring freedom of navigation, strengthening maritime law enforcement, and encountering gray zone threats. Pavilionis and other delegates commended Taiwan's strong coordination and operational capacity, noting that despite the distance, Europe and Taiwan share similar borders and non-traditional security challenges. The visit, they said, strengthens the Taiwan-Europe partnership based on shared democratic values. The Coast Guard administration concluded that both sides oppose any coercive actions that seek to change the status quo and will continue expanding maritime cooperation to uphold a free, open, and rules-based international maritime order. Thanks for joining me for the news. I'm Phil Leskowski. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.